Have you ever had a feeling that someone might be taking advantage of you? When you have this gut feeling, most of the time it's for a good reason. Chances are you're probably going to come across a true manipulator at least once or twice in your lifetime. These people do not hesitate to execute their psychological manipulation in both their personal and professional lives. It doesn't matter if it's their partner or coworker. People that are manipulative are certain that they can get whatever they want and whenever they want. Even though they are frequently perceived as successful people and winners, they have a damaging and toxic psychological impact on others around them. If you've ever been misled by a manipulator, you know how painful it is to come to that realization. To avoid falling victim to a manipulator, it is crucial to identify the warning signs of manipulation. Pay close attention until the end of this video to discover 7 warning signs of psychological manipulation. They make fun of you. Manipulators not only crave power, but they get power by your own fears and insecurities. Oftentimes, manipulative people may criticize you or insult you unfairly in order to make you feel like a failure. When you call them out on it, they will usually turn it back on you and tell you that it was obviously a joke. They will simply label it as humor or sarcasm. However, it's so far from reality. This mental suffering could be caused by anything, such as one's looks, habits, accomplishments, or knowledge. A real manipulator will slowly discover all your flaws and insecurities, and when it will be convenient for them, they will not think twice to use them against you. They pretend to be dumb. A master manipulator will act incapable of doing something they don't want to do, just like a teenager who hates doing homework. Manipulators will act ignorant, as if they don't understand what you are trying to say. This allows them to avoid completing a task or taking responsibility for something they don't want to, leaving you to take all the work and responsibility. It's so easy for manipulative people to avoid their commitments and duties, and they will always give you the short end of the stick. If you confront them about something they said or did before, they will act dumb and pretend that they don't even remember it. They twist reality. Miscommunication does happen occasionally, and there is nothing wrong with that. However, some people may purposely misinterpret your words and actions, making you look like a bad person. On top of that, they will pretend completely innocent, which will make you feel insane. When you confront the manipulator about it, they frequently ignore or twist reality, or try to make you feel guilty by saying something completely irrelevant. If you notice that someone who gets confronted with the truth immediately twists it to their advantage without taking any ownership about it, it's a warning sign that you are dealing with a manipulator. They threaten you. Now, don't get me wrong, by threatening, I don't necessarily mean anything related to anger or aggression. Sometimes it can be more subtle in the form of an ultimatum. An ultimatum is basically a demand, and usually there is not much of a choice available. Accept or refuse demands and limitations are common tactics used by manipulators. It's just another method that emotionally manipulative people use to win your agreement or submission. Oftentimes, they would threaten you that if you don't do a certain thing for them, they will leave you in case of a friendship or a relationship. The manipulator's victim is controlled by this act of tension, and their power play often succeeds, especially against weak personalities. The funny part about this is that usually they are not even honest about it, since their threats and ultimatums are only fake, and in reality, they would not even do the things they say they would. Ultimatums are bad, since they are neglecting compromise, a necessary component of any healthy relationship, which is exactly the thing that manipulators hate. They raise their voice. Although this is not entirely a psychological way of manipulation, for manipulators this strategy is another attempt to gain power. Louder speakers occasionally believe that their loud voice establishes their authority. They think that it makes them smarter or that it proves their point more effectively. This actually works the opposite way. However, some manipulators tend to do this regardless. Their strategy is to scare you by their loud voice and threats. They could also encourage your surrender by talking a lot, not giving you any opportunity to speak freely. They can dominate a conversation by using their aggressive body language and harsh tone to make their targets listen. They judge you. While some manipulators publicly disrespect someone else's feelings by confronting them with criticism and judgment, others openly disregard another's feelings by expressing judgment in the form of sarcasm. A manipulative person won't think twice about dismissing, mocking, or belittling you. They might try to maintain their authority over you by continually judging you. Usually, the manipulator gives off the impression that you are flawed in some way. No matter what you say or do, they will always tell you that you are not good enough. Your self-worth is the focus of a manipulator when they lead you to believe that you are unworthy. If someone only points out your flaws without any constructive criticism, without any suggestions for you how you could do better, they are mentally abusing you. They play the victim. When a manipulator is exposed for their actions and behavior, they quickly turn it against you. Even if their selfish actions do you harm, the manipulator will put the blame on you regardless and claim that they are the victim. It tries to deflect attention from them in a way that could justify their actions. Gaslighting is a method used by manipulators to make you feel crazy for confronting them or even having feelings or beliefs in the first place. Manipulators are frequently very sensitive and defensive. When a manipulator puts all the blame on you, do not even believe them. They are just trying to make you feel bad as soon as you confront them. If you found value in this video, please smash that like button and consider subscribing.